Years ago, I started to make a video where I was trying to make something which was really natural from something which was a performance. So I was trying to do something very performative and make it seem genuine. And it was tricky because, wait a minute. Let me get a tissue. So that was performative. I didn't really sneeze. And this box of tissues is what, I mean, look at it. This is no good. I can't use that. Sometimes you get things like this, inferior product, and I'm not going to accept it. So today what I'm going to do is redesign this product to make it stronger and clean. So let's open this up and rehouse these tissues. Let's get started. So to start off, I am going to be using this pen to do the doodle with, and it's going to be a Fudenosuke Tombow brush pen. Really nice. It's a little flexible nib. It's not exactly a brush, but it's called a brush pen. I really like it. It's fun to use, and it gives you a nice varied line when you draw. That's one of the things which is a bit of a problem for fine liners, is that you can taper the line by doing a wispy, stroke yourself, but otherwise it's fairly consistent and it doesn't really give you that interesting varied mark which brush pens do. And one like this is quite a controllable kind of pressure sensitivity that you can apply. So that's what I quite enjoy about these flexible nibs. Now some of this goes in and out of focus, so forgive me. That's why I thought I'll do some quick cuts on the video, because initially I thought that it was all set up correctly. You'd think I'd know how to film, after all the years that I've been making videos on YouTube, but apparently I'm still learning to set the focus and then start going. So the focus goes between the drawing and my hand from time to time. Now there's no thought beforehand, which is a lot of how I like to doodle. I don't really like to plan out much. I just go for whatever mark I make and then react to that mark with another mark and then see what happens. And it means that sometimes it can be a little bit odd and I end up with something like this, which I don't know exactly how to describe what it is. It's kind of a junkyard jumble of sci-fi shapes almost. So, you tell me what you think it looks like, but that's how I'd describe it. But it's all fun. I'm not trying to take away from the enjoyment of the session, because it certainly was enjoyable just to play with lines and to see how they intersect, and to sort of say, right, I would have gone in this direction. How about if I curl around and go a different direction instead? So that's always quite, interesting to me. By the way, after this first section, the focus, I figure it out and reset the focus so that it's not going in and out like it is now. So I apologize for that. It's not fun to watch something go blurry all the time, but it will get fixed in a minute. So yeah, the other thing about the whole line consistency thing is that it's kind of, with fine liners, I still really enjoy them. It just means that you've got to go back over them to make the line weight have some contrast between the lines. And then I do really enjoy rotary pens, and they have an incredibly consistent solid line, but there's a big difference between them and fine liners to me. I can feel it and I can see it. So I have a sketchbook where I've drawn with fine liners for several pages, just playing around, and then a page where I started with someone's rotary pen at a friend's house, and it just looks different, it felt different, and it convinced me that I have to get them. And I knew from watching Peter Draw's videos that I really like what his drawings look like, and that he's a big advocate for rotary pens. But yeah, I'd never thought to get them myself until I'd used a friend's set, and that was it. After that I just thought, okay, this is unavoidable now. It's just too much fun, and it's too much of a stark difference between what I can achieve with fine liners and what the experience is, and what I can achieve with rotary pens, which is I don't know, it's really hard to describe. It's something about the ink being darker and the line almost looks embedded on the surface, even though it isn't. It's strange. It's a really strange, mysterious result that has a weird tingly effect on my brain that I love. Saying that, all of my Rotring pens I think are blocked up, which is quite frustrating. So I don't know what to do about that. I need to look up how to clean them, how to unblock them, and spend the time doing that, because I'd really like to use them again. Same with my fountain pen. I've not had much luck there, and I don't want to buy other sets if I can revive these, because it just seems wasteful. So I'm not throwing them away. I'm keeping them in the hopes of bringing them back. But yeah, after the first session on the kind of, inside oval that I did, I thought for the outside oval I would go more mutation, because if the inside is kind of like a space junk sort of thing, then the outside should be some kind of alien organic material. It kind of reminds me of is it Jason and the Wheeled Warriors? Is that what it was called? And they had kind of big mutant things that would be on the tops of cars. I remember that being really fun when I was a kid, when I watched cartoons like that. So I think that's partly the image that's in my head when I draw these weird mutant things. It's still going out of focus. I know it gets fixed soon, so forgive me for the in and out of focus part of the video. And then these weird kind of almost rock-like or flower-like moments, as if it's really zoomed in on flower petals. I just think sometimes textures can be really interesting to vary, and I don't have a clear idea in my head of what it should look like. I just think that it's interesting to make it different from the more mutant arm looking thing that I did on the right hand side. And I don't mean arm like someone's arm, I mean almost like a branch or something, like an arm that way. So yeah, that's what I am drawn to when it comes to doodling, is to make something which looks textured and looks like it's alive, and yet play around with the hatching or the stippling for that kind of rendering. Okay, this is a Patreon video about automatic drawing. So if you join my Patreon, you will see this video and many others like it. That's what I'm showing you on the screen now, is a video that I made about a drawing process called automatic drawing. It explains how and why this is a useful way to make art. There are lots of different ways of making art and using different tools, different thought processes, and expressing your ideas, and this is one of them. You can join now for $2 a month and start using these techniques. It's not much to ask. I know that it's too much for some people, so I appreciate that it's not for everyone, but if you can afford it, it will really help this channel. You'll also be a patron of the arts, which sounds posh, and there's nothing quite as prestigious as a posh patron of the arts. So if you are able to do that, then I really would appreciate it. There's also animation, exhibition, and behind the scenes videos. Loads to check out on the channel. I've been making it for quite a while, so I upload a video every month, and I'm going to start creating a tier system with different exclusive access videos. I hope to see you there soon. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. So that's where I find myself, is in this place of creating little shapes and little ideas that are, to me, parts of this world that are growing and evolving and interacting with each other. They seem to be part of an organism, which I feel like could be realised on the surface, and that's part of the fun. This is something which I don't do as often as I'd like to as well, where I stipple in one direction and then stipple in the other direction. I don't know why. Usually when I stipple, as you can see on the left there or in the centre, I do stippling in one direction, whereas when you cross it over, I think it has a really interesting effect when it comes to what you're actually seeing and what that means for the surface of this shape that I've drawn. And I'm going to play with that some more as well, because it's just things that I haven't thought of before. And I like doing this as well, where instead of crossing it over like I just did, stippling in one direction and then from that curling the stippling round in order to show the form. So things like that I think are really informative. Now I know it's hard to see what I'm doing here, but I decided to go back to a very early drawing that I did years ago, where I made this weird alien spaceship thing, like a weird pod, and then outside of it was some tentacles, and the tentacles made me think there should be bubbles. And then I thought for this if I put bubbles in this, it would transform it into an underwater scene. You know, it's oxygen in little spheres, so it would be an interesting transformation. It's not often that I do it, so I thought that side is covered with that kind of crazy doodle side. Now this is going to be the whole tissue box. When I would do tissue boxes, I would just do one side and then I'd cut it out and I'd have that as an image. But for this, it's going to be functional. It's going to be a practical piece of doodling art, and I'm going to use it for the tissue box. So that's why I'm thinking I need to cover a lot of this tissue box with these different ideas and designs, so that afterwards I can glue it back together and turn it back into the tissue box that it should be. That's the plan. I don't do that often enough. Now I've got loads of cardboard boxes that I've saved. I stopped saving them at one point in my life. I thought, right, that's it, I'm done with cardboard. I'm going to go to canvas, to wood, to paper and thicker surfaces, but not cardboard anymore. And I missed it, so I went back to cardboard. And the problem is, when I start doing that and it comes to sourcing the surfaces, I'll find that whatever product it is, whether it's a cereal box or yogurts or whatever it is, when I see it I'll think, well, I'll save that because that's quite nice. And then I've got this stack of cardboard boxes which is a mess. It's just an absolute pile of rubbish that is waiting to be drawn on. So it's my mission to get through those soon, because it doesn't have to be rubbish. It could be something which is actually quite nice to look at and quite good and functional and practical, but for the time being it's a mess. So one of the things that wasn't really old and in the stack was the tissue box, as you saw at the beginning, which is it's just not good enough being the way that it is. So I thought, I need to start off with this, get it done, because I love the grey of the inside of the cardboard. I don't love white cardboard, even though it's good for a template like the one that I've just used. And for a different idea, I thought these little windows of the white cardboard instead of the ovals would be nice as a mask, so that I have these little rectangle areas to draw inside of. And it's coming together. I mean, you can see from under my hand there bits of the doodle and how it speaks to each other. And it's quite a nice little patchwork of ideas and organic mutant matter that is stretching across the picture plane. But here we are, all done, all doodled up. I quite like it unfolded, but it's not going to be finished until you see it all glued back together. And here we are. This is the final product. I think it looks quite cool. It's much better than that broken tissue box that we had earlier. I've left a couple of panels blank, but I don't think that really hurts. So that's it. My tissue box is finished and I can now blow my nose. See you next time.